Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Darth Cinema, and it is that time of the year again, guys. We are on RWBY Volume 4, Episode 1. Guys, I am so excited. If you'd like, please give this video a like to celebrate the return of arguably one of Rooster Teeth's best shows. So, guys, we're going to look at RWBY Volume 4, Chapter 1, titled The Next Step. And already, right from the get-go of this episode, I immediately notice the uptick in the animation quality. It looks fantastic, not just of the character models specifically, but of the Grimm in general. The Beowulfs have gotten a very substantial update, and I absolutely love the additions of the spikes and fur. It just doesn't make them look like a flat, like the texture of the fur looks like it's there. It doesn't look like it's just a plain like black bodysuit or whatever. I just love the new look of these Grimm. We also get a very substantial look at our villains. This was the biggest problem with volumes 1 and 2, where they were introducing villains and they gave us little to no insight or exposition on what these villains really wanted. We did get a little bit of information of what's happened during the 6 months between volume 3 and volume 4, and we learned that after the battle at Beacon, where Ruby found her powers, that Cinder did not escape that unscathed. We find that her left eye has been damaged to the point where she can't use it. You can see actually a scar reaching out to the other side of her face. She has like a cloth covering her eye, and she can't even speak at this point. Now, whether this is due to them not getting her voice actress to come back, which I doubt that. I think this was planned from the get-go. It was, you see Cinder not able to talk, at least out loud, and she has to relay all her messages through Emerald, and it makes her kind of a mockery to the other new villains that we have today. More specifically, Watts, who is one of our brand new villains coming into the season. Unfortunately, guys, I haven't been able to get screenshots of this, so hopefully when I may be able to edit this as it comes out, but for now, we're just going to have to make do with still images. Watts seems to have a more aristocratic era among him, and he really doesn't like the fact that Ruby kind of whoops Cinder's butt, at least in this sense, half blinding her and robbing her of her voice. But we also find out a little bit more of what is coming up. We know about Salem's plan against the maidens. She actually is planning for one of them to go up to go find the Spring Maiden, but that's changed when they don't know what to deal with Ruby, because they're like, look, she's going to be a problem. What are we going to do about her? And then they're going to send someone to go after Ruby and bring her to Salem, which is interesting. But I think one of the most shocking things here is we have an admission from Salem herself that Cinder killed Ozpin. Now, what I think this is a bait and switch. I do not think that Ozpin is dead. As we've known from the last season, he's missing at this point. So I don't think that Ozpin is dead at this point. I'm going to go by comic book rules here. If you haven't seen the body, he ain't really dead. So we also know that Salem is, now that Beacon is gone, is turning her attention towards Mistral. And that right there just shows they're going to go to each kingdom one by one and take down their Huntsman Academy. Also, on a side note, Tyrion, the man who's being sent to bring Ruby to Salem, my bad, has probably one of the best evil laughs ever. I just already can tell that I'm going to enjoy his character a lot, because if I have a crazy over-the-top villain like him, especially when you have all the serious stuff going on right now with Salem and Cinder and Watts and the rest, it's really nice to have that kind of over-the-top villain to kind of lighten up the mood in some respects. This guy, he's more of a psycho, it looks like, but I really enjoy his laugh, and I'm really looking forward to see more of him and how he bounces off other characters as well, especially going to Team RWBY, which brings us to another weird segue. This segue in particular, what happens is it cuts like the laugh was the end of like this weird nightmare, and this kid wakes up in what looks like a barn. We find out it is a barn. He's like on a farm, which is really weird because this scene should not fit. It doesn't fit in the grand scheme of things. What does this kid have to do? Who is he? What is his importance to the plot of the story? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something big. We don't know. I have a feeling that they wouldn't put this kid in here if he wasn't important in some aspects. Um, I've heard a couple people like saying that maybe this could be a younger Osmond. I don't know. I've heard some really weird things at this point. I really with RWBY, you can believe anything. You don't know. I don't know what he is. I don't know who he is. But hopefully, when the time comes, we'll be able to find out whether this kid has any relevance to the plot, or if he's just a no name that's apparently going to get internet fame, and cosplayers are going to be going to the next convention dressed as him. Trust me, it happens all the time. Then we get to the biggest portion of the episode, guys, which is obviously the one that I think we've all been waiting for, which is Team Ranger or Team Junior, depending on if you like Nora's suggestion. We see them fighting a brand new Grim called a Geist. Now, I didn't think they were going to give us the name of the Grim right away, but I was actually going to call it like a golem or something, because it looked like a golem. It's literally like a Grim mask on top of a walking pile of boulders. We see the team starting to work with each other. It's clear that over the 6 months that have transpired between volumes, Team Ranger, I'm calling him that anyway, Team Ranger has clearly synergy together, that they are managed to work. I like the new designs for Ren and Nora. One thing I noticed is that the heart pattern on Nora's chest, if you look, has a slash through it, which is really interesting. I believe that must have been after, Pyrrha's death in Volume 3. But I really love all of this fight. It really just shows. One of the things I was worried about is when I noticed that they were switching a animation software, and they're not using Poser this time. I forgot what they're using this time, but it really, one of the things that it's very clear from the get-go looking at this, it seems that the animation for the dialogue, just when they're standing around talking to each other, it looks a lot more fluid. You see the body movements aren't as jagged as before, which was a problem. And even the fights transition really well to this new animation software. As I'm watching Jean pull a grip and get hit in the balls by a rock. But the funny thing was, when looking at this fight, I saw Jean in his normal gear, and I'm like, oh, well, what happened? Like, is he not getting an upgrade? No, we see that at the end of the episode, but we've learned a few more modifications that have happened. We've seen Ren do things that he's never done before with his guns. They hurls it like a boomerang. We have Nora with this new electric hammer, because we got to make her like a female Thor in some respects, don't we? Well, let's be honest. Nora is the Lady Thor. She's that awesome. We see them defeat the Geist for this village, and clearly this is kind of like a side job on the way to wherever they're going to find whoever was responsible for killing Pyrrha. And on that note, actually, we do get a nice little homage to Pyrrha when they go to the blacksmith to get new gear for Jean. He apparently had it commissioned a little bit earlier, which is why he wasn't carrying a weapon during the fight with the Geist. It's that he has a new armor piece, a new armor, like new chest piece. He has a brand new sword and a brand new shield, and we find out that the metal in the shield came from a friend, which I believe was the headpiece that was all that was left of Pyrrha. So they used that and forged it into Jean's new gear, which I think is probably one of the best decisions they've made going forward. It just shows that they're honoring Pyrrha in their own way, and it really works here. There's no like over emotional state. It's just kind of like a silent thing. It's like, yes, we remember her, we are pushing forward. They're not going to be held down by the baggage of what's happened before, by what happened in Volume 3. Like, they're not going to spend 5 episodes crying about Pyrrha. This 6 months have gone by. I'm sure they still miss her, but I wouldn't want like a third of the episode be taken up by crying for Pyrrha. just looking at the designs of the characters in general, of at least of Team Ranger, I love everything that goes forward, and the comedy, and as serious as this is, the comedy still shines through the best. With probably my favorite bit being when Jean takes off his old chest piece, we finally get to see that there was a design on the hoodie. It's a bunny. It's the Pumpkin Pete mascot, which I think is really funny. Ruby loses her mind, starts laughing at him, and we see like the big eyes, the big watery eyes, and the quivering lip on Jean. It's like this is what RWBY is to me. It's like you balance the serious with the funny, and that's what makes RWBY special to me. It's that you manage to balance it out so easily. They're heading out towards their next mission, which gives us a nice little segue when they mention the Shani Dust Company to Weiss, who is currently just sitting in what looks like a study or a lounge, and we see one of her servants come in saying that her father wants to speak to her, and it pretty much cuts after that. So the next, it looks like each episode going forward, we're going to see one member of Team RWBY, like one of their point of views per episode. I hope that's the case because that looks really cool. Um, and that's it, guys. On the note of the theme song, which comes out at the end. Now, normally, like, I really, with Volume 3 and Volume 4, I didn't think that their theme songs were as good as, like, the catchy, uh, like This Will Be the Day or Time to Say Goodbye. Like, that, it wasn't as catchy as those at first. But the more I listen to it, the more I absolutely love Volume 4's theme song. It really, really works with this case. It does everything it needs to. We see little snippets of each of Team RWBY with old characters and brand new characters that we haven't seen, like a Cat Faunus young man who is with Blake. What's that going to be? We have Blake. I mean, not Blake. We have Yang training with Tai Yang. It looks like struggling with her own insecurities of losing her arm. We have a couple new Faunus characters for the White Fang that we're probably going to see within the future. And obviously, we have Salem's Gang, which I would be worried that they're introducing too many characters right off the bat. But in this case, it looks like they're doing the right thing. They're just like they're bringing them in steadily one at a time and not trying to like overclock us with so much of the new. It keeps everything familiar as we know RWBY to be, but yet still manages to make it fresh for a brand new volume. So I'm going to come out with another video, guys, tonight. Unfortunately, I've been sick for the past couple of days, which is why my videos haven't been coming out. I know some of you have been a little bit worried that my channel may be dead. It's not. RWBY is now in full swing, guys. I will be doing a video later today of a retrospective of RWBY Chibi and where I think the series is and where I think the series should go for another season, if another season is even coming out. So, my name is Darth Cinema. I hope you guys enjoyed this audio review. I'm sorry I can't use footage because, as you guys are no doubt aware, Rooster Teeth screwed over my last look over of the intro. So hopefully they won't screw over my intro of this video. But hopefully everything works out. If not, we're just going to go to audio reviews from now on. My name is Darth Cinema. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see all of you in the next video. Take care, and goodbye.